St. Mary's Hospital has served the city for 120 years. It has saved countless lives, but it has also taken them. Every hospital has patients who do not survive. St. Mary's is different. Here, some of those patients never leave. They simply transfer to a ward that should not exist. Nurse Chen started her first night shift at 11 p.m. She was nervous. Night shifts were always harder. The senior nurses had given her warnings. Do not go to the 5th floor after midnight. Do not answer if you hear your name. And if the lights flicker, run. She thought they were hazing her. The first few hours were uneventful. Nurse Chen checked on patients, administered medications, completed paperwork. The hospital was quiet. Too quiet, she realized. Even the sickest patients were silent. Even the machines seemed muted. It was as if the building was holding its breath, waiting. At 2 a.m., an alert appeared on Nurse Chen's screen. Patient emergency, 5th floor, room 513. She checked the floor plan. The 5th floor only had rooms up to 510. There was no room 513, but the alert kept flashing. Someone needed help. Nurse Chen took the elevator to the 5th floor. The button for 5 should not have worked. The floor was under renovation, closed to patients. But the elevator stopped. The doors opened, and beyond was a corridor that looked nothing like the rest of the hospital. Old, dark, wrong. The 5th floor was frozen in time. Old medical equipment lined the walls. Faded posters advertised treatments from the 1950s. The lights flickered constantly, and from somewhere down the corridor, Nurse Chen heard the sound of a heart monitor, beeping steadily, patiently, waiting. Room 513 existed here. Nurse Chen pushed open the door. A patient lay on the bed, connected to machines that should not still function. The patient turned to look at her. His face was gray. His eyes were hollow. He had been dead for decades, but he smiled at her anyway. "Nurse," he said. Finally. A patient reached out a cold hand. "I need my medication," he said. "I have been waiting so long. The doctor said he would come. He never came. Please, nurse, help me." Nurse Chen backed away. This was not possible. None of this was possible. But the patient's hand kept reaching, pleading. Nurse Chen heard voices behind her. She turned. The corridor was now filled with the patients. Dozens of them. Hundreds. All in hospital gowns. All connected to IV stands that dripped shadow instead of fluid. All moving toward her. All asking for help she could not give. A voice cut through the crowd. "Let me see the patient." The ghost patients parted. Dr. Morrison walked toward Nurse Chen. He wore a surgical gown stained with old blood. Half his face was bone. He had died in 1978, but he was still making his rounds. Dr. Morrison studied Nurse Chen with hollow eyes. "You are alive," he said. "That is unfortunate. The living do not belong here. But since you have come, you must help. My patients need treatment, and I need a nurse. He reached for her with skeletal fingers. You will do nicely. Nurse Chen ran. She pushed through the ghost patients, their cold hands grabbing at her clothes. She reached the elevator and pressed every button. Nothing worked. The doors would not close. Dr. Morrison's voice echoed down the corridor. Nurse Chen found the stairs. She ran down, floor by floor. But the numbers did not change. 5, 5, 5. Every landing was the 5th floor. Every door opened onto the same ghostly ward. Dr. Morrison was waiting on every level, smiling patiently. Nurse, your patients need you. A ghost patient grabbed Nurse Chen's arm. Listen, she whispered. The old woman's eyes were clearer than the others. The doctor traps us here. We cannot leave until we are cured. But we are already dead. We can never be cured unless someone gives us peace. Release us. End our suffering. Nurse Chen followed the old woman's directions. The operating room was at the heart of the 5th floor. Inside, Dr. Morrison stood over a table preparing for surgery. On the walls hung photographs of every patient he had lost. His failures, his guilt. He could not stop operating because he could not accept that they were gone. Nurse Chen stepped into the operating room. Dr. Morrison, she said. Her voice shook, but she did not run. They are dead. They have been dead for decades. You cannot save them, but you can let them go. You have to let them go. Dr. Morrison froze. His scalpel trembled. I failed them, he whispered, dropped the scalpel. You are right, he said. I could not save them, but I could not accept it. He turned to the ghost patients gathered in the doorway. I am sorry, he said. You are free. One by one, the patients began to fade, smiling, peaceful, finally at rest. Dr. Morrison was the last to go. Thank you, nurse, he said to Nurse Chen. I have been operating on ghosts for 50 years. I could not stop until you made me. He faded into light, and with him, the 5th floor began to change. The old equipment vanished. The horror ended. Nurse Chen found herself in a normal renovation area. Empty rooms, construction equipment. No trace of the ghostly ward. Her watch showed 6 a.m. Her shift was over. She had survived. But she would never forget the patients who had not. The 5th floor of St. Mary's Hospital is open now. Regular rooms, regular patients. The ghosts are gone. But hospitals are full of death. And sometimes death does not leave. So if you ever find yourself in a hospital at night and you hear your name called from an empty room, think carefully before you answer. Sweet dreams.